Alright, this seems pretty good. We got a Zoom class meeting, drowning sociology. Okay. Or downing. Sociology. Maybe we're taking it all down the pipes here. First things first, here's our teacher. We got, looks like, 11th through something, maybe early college, close to it. Here's somebody, maybe he might be that 114-year-old playing, Major League over here. I'm not sure. We'll find out later. But this is a bit about the pause in the pre-log of, I know there's a class coming up, there's a meeting, there's a system. So we'll just kick it in here.
We'll talk about that, and then of course.
Yeah, I turn in. I like the house. I like the, like I said, it starts certain
really big issues. Again, we're talking
but
about a
at the class level, I'm catching. I want to be here for Zoom
so
notes
when we talk about anything
how
else,
the functionality works across the board.
It really doesn't compare to
how
water. But to understand
the
why,
classroom
again,
organization works.
Are doing with water what they do, or if we're ignoring things,
sociology,
in relationship to
female,
water,
age,
or we
dual
could do
diagnosis,
better, or try and protect our water
MA,
more.
You can get,
that
we want to
all
get the
boils
heavy
down
stuff. It
to
is the
that
electron.
we
You
can
can
ask,
say the
which is,
photon, the electron.
what is your relationship with
obviously
water?
the nucleus,
So,
hydrogen.
I did ask maybe
this
what's
is an
a word
element
that comes
of an
to mind.
electron
I think
with a
maybe
shell
more
around the
importantly would be,
snowflake, which is
what's
the
our relationship to water? So I'm going to ask that question, and instead of typing it, if you want to
1420,
unmute your mic,
1720. That's my megahertz.
what's our relationship with water? What's your relationship with water? And I think that this can range from really deep philosophical things to some real basic things, but
it's a good thing it's 2020.
Again, maybe we haven't asked ourselves that question as I'm drinking water. So what do you think?
Start earlier with the F-22.
Because that's going to help us understand why we're doing
drivers.
What we're doing,
you get this box running a lot better.
And of course, if I were to ask this question,
I hit you most of the business model. We're going to go through a graphing
here,
system. Let's independently just say, I don't know my computer system, so X, Y, Z, we're just going to run through the system.
Wouldn't that be an awesome sociological thing?
And
because your access to water is so very
turn it over,
different,
start running any class at that point in time, any business model, any system, any value.
Right, anyway,
for me, it's going to be one of these boxes that is psychology, independently, immediately, as long as the observation of the horizon problem has set standards. We got to value what we call grass. It's green.
I feel like in general, we take humans, as humans, we take water for granted, especially in the developed world. We know that water is essential for life. Life can't be sustained without water, but because we have access to it so easily, it comes out of our taps and our showers, and we can fill up our water bottles on, wherever we go, and we can, buy bottled water anywhere now. We don't consider it as valuable as it is.
Yeah, good. Who else? There's so many things that you just said there. I mean, the thing that stands out to me is
the marshmallow.
That some people have to walk miles and miles for just a little bit of water every day, and they're not guaranteed.
If in those situations, how do we begin to graph those if these were the people, or we couldn't determine at the end result what that was from here?
I mean, I'm into stuff
this
like
takes
that.
a vector positions
But when you stand there and when we're talking about global water situations,
but they're
that's intense.
Multivariable calculus into single variable calculus. It gets a kick, starting with Z, looking at the black hole, trying to determine how much energy I can get off of that Epson's holdback flex.
That's why I love Soch. Good answer. Who else? Our relationship.
I am but one. I didn't come from no training.
I think
Just what I
for
put up on the
me,
internet.
at least, I know I kind of wrote about this in my discussion post, but growing up in Illinois, next to the Great Lakes, I feel like in my mind it was never. I knew, of course, that, there was lots of issues with water and, droughts, but living next to the Great Lakes, it wasn't as important in my mind. I mean, obviously, I tried my best to conserve water where I could, but I feel like it's a lot different from, being out here where even I feel like just people, watering their lawns, and, that seems like a waste because I know that there's water issues here.
The term drought
watering
is in superposition of a matrix that is,
bear down.
by definition of IH, water, flood, no flood area, region, timelines, distances, oscillating reciprocals.
It was just wet in Wisconsin. It was going to rain. People just didn't do that. I've been out here for 20 years,
Yeah,
but
that's
even
ridiculous.
watering
And
your lawn,
the sociology
you
turns
know,
into a
it's so
theology
like
lesson
intense out
on
here with
the
water rides.
eschatology of the
And of
general
course,
relativity
we've been in a
field
drought
theory
now
equation.
out in Colorado.
I
They were
mean,
saying
it
it's
can
a
hit you
10-year drought,
fast.
but
Called
it's
the
just really
Cthulhu in
it's how it's
sociology
changing.
if that was the
And of
regional
course, in
models
California,
defined by
they've been
the
dealing with this for much longer than we have
snowflake,
because they have all
marshmallow,
sorts of gray water
Bell's
implemented
equality
and ways to do that. So
to
to talk about gray water, a lot of
Compton
people
of
out here are like, what's
Copenhagen's
gray water?
interpretation.
Well, in California, I guarantee you, people know because they
California,
have to.
it'd
So
be
that's
where those
maybe,
things lit up
you know,
on people who knew certain
linchpin
some
right
of the
there.
words.
If
It
it's,
just
if
kind
it's
of
around you, if it's
drought.
abundant.
If it's
And now, of course, there's all sorts of water rights issues
well,
with the Great Lakes.
if we went drought, we could go to the flood. A
privatization
lot of
and things
times
like
with the
that,
crushinator on certain values that all play off on superposition and topology on a flat settled surface, stacked Carl Sagan
so,
universe, low Nuke and Mars,
definitely
and Carl Sagan
able to
apologies.
have somewhat clean, safe water compared to Flint or New Mexico. Yeah.
All
so
theoretical,
absolutely
great stuff.
access.
I mean,
and obviously, just
water
because
is hydrogen
obviously,
turned into
that's the word of the day, but
compositions of
because,
5 megatons to 15 megatons.
some people geographically have so much access, and some people have so little. I mean, if the water was